Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. It is August 13th, Thursday, August 13th, and I'm finally sitting down making time to film this video. It's been a minute and I want to clock back in. I have not talked to y'all since June when we talked about my summertime lineup, where I made a video kind of just like eliminating stuff that I wasn't reaching for and really solidifying what I wanted to use moving forward for the rest of the year. I also mentioned in probably like a plan with me video and my word of the month email for June that I was going to be out for a couple of weeks because I was having surgery. I ended up having a laparoscopic myomectomy and had 11 fibroids removed. Yes, and my surgery was 6 hours long. I had never had surgery before. I was really nervous about being put under, but y'all, I was out. It was 6 hours, but it felt like 6 minutes to me because I was out like a light. I spent a little bit of time in recovery, like a little bit longer in recovery, because I was like literally trying to fight for my life to wake up. I was so drugged up, but yeah, so that was successful all as well. I feel amazing energy wise. It is so crazy how those fibroids were literally sucking the life out of me, but I feel so good. I feel amazing. Energy is completely back. Now I'm just trying to get this weight up off of me. You see how chubby this face is, so I'm trying to get this weight up off me. But other than that, I feel so good. During that time in recovery, I was not reaching for anything. So that whole summer lineup that I showed y'all that I was going to be using, I ain't reached for a single thing. Months prior, like in May, I ordered a happy planner class. What is this called? A skinny classic. I was watching, I think, like Nadia Plans or something, and she was like unboxing some sticker albums that she had got, and I was like, "Ooh, let me go on the website," because it just gave like real nostalgic, right? It gave like circa 2013, and I was like, let me just go in there and see. So of course I was like, trying to justify why I was on there. And I was like, oh, bet I could use this as like a recovery journal. So I can track my energy. I can track my movements. I can track what I'm eating, how I'm feeling, right? After the surgery. Y'all, I have not put this down. I have not stopped using this. And this is not a recovery. There's nothing about recovery, nothing about energy, nothing about the surgery in here at all. This is my planner now. Yeah, crazy. This is my planner now. I have not put this down since I got it in July. It started July. I have been using it religiously and I am so happy in here, which is crazy. I also ordered, this week, I also ordered, because when we do it, we got to do it right. So I also ordered 3 sticker books to go with it, right? Crazy. But I have had no desire to reach for any of that stuff, anything else. The only thing I have been reaching for is the Louise Carmen, which is y'all know that I take this to church with me, so it has like my church notes and stuff, and it used to also have my my shopping list in here. Like when I go to the store, it'll have like my grocery list in here. But I have been reaching for my phone when it comes to my shopping list. And I know so the notes app on my phone, I've been reaching for my shopping list. And I know I'm late to the party with that, but I have been loving that. Me and Yoshida from Norris Code was talking about, we've been relying on our phones a little bit lately for planning stuff. Excuse me. So that is funny. So I've been doing that, but I haven't been reaching for anything else, and I felt kind of bad. So I was like, well, let me change out everything in my personal rings, like just refresh it, set up for the next quarter, take out some inserts that I wasn't using, switch my cover. So y'all know that I was using my black VDS. I switched it back to the Moterm cover in the color Dune, and I tried to like refresh it and set it up. And y'all, I have not been reaching for this. The only thing that is up to date that I do reference at this point is a damn reference binder. The only thing I do reference is my money monthly. So just like the monthly that I use with all of my bills on top, and then all of my bills listed. And then I also have the monthly, like my personal monthly. So this is what July looks like. And those are all Happy Planner stickers. Super cute. I did use my monthly for that, because the Happy Planner doesn't have like a full monthly because it's like this the skinny or like the slim or whatever. So this is how this month has came out so far. But other than that, if I'm not looking at my budget section, which is just the monthly, just to see what bill is coming out in this monthly calendar to like prep for the week, I have not been reaching for it at all. And it's so crazy because even though like the itch to switch is on brand for me around this time, like in July, I pretty much like, okay, it's slowing down. It's the summertime. Like I can like, let me like play around with a different weekly in here. That is kind of normal. Like, okay, typically that'll be something that I'll do. But the idea of like not reaching for this at all is kind of crazy. So I'm not sure what I'm going through. This too shall pass. I guess I'm not sure what's happening here, but yeah, so I have not reached for that at all. I haven't journaled, which is ridiculous because like the surgery, major surgery, you know, having downtime, there is stuff to talk about. There is stuff to journal, how I'm feeling, the complete switch in energy, like that. It is stuff to talk about. The fact that I have not reached for anything is kind of crazy. And then my Hobonichi. Remember when this is my memory keeper. If you don't know, I like to use a Hobonichi to just archive my year because I originally started off as a memory keeper in my like early planning years or whatever. And remember when I was doing so good with updating this, I only had all April, the month of April to like backlog and update. Y'all, now I got a backlog April, I got a backlog July, I got to start August. I haven't, and that's like for the monthlies. For the weeklies, I haven't, my last week that I wrote in here was June 7th. So the week before surgery, no, like 2 weeks before surgery. So I need to make time to sit here and update this, which it's going to be fine because I wasn't doing shit. So it'll be pretty empty, but at least it'll be updated because I like to make sure that my archive is updated so that I can look back on it at the end of the year and next year and stuff like that. So that is that. I have my notebook because I wanted to make sure I kept y'all up to date on what I wanted to talk about. So we talked about that. We talked about me not reaching for my personal rings. Hobonichi releases and what that looks like. Okay, so y'all know we are kind of like in the beginning stage of Hobonichi doing like the releases for the upcoming year. And I always get a Hobonichi weeks every year regardless because that is going to be my memory keeper. I just find like this works easy. I love my groove in this. I love kind of like just how it works out for me. So I'm definitely going to get a Hobonichi weeks. I haven't seen anything in the previews that has really caught my eye yet, except for like 2 things, and I'll put it on the screen. But so I know I'll get a Hobonichi weeks. I kind of use the Hobonichi season to kickstart how I'm thinking about the year ahead. However, I have not been really thinking about the year ahead because I have just been so happy and content in this damn hobby planner that I really have not been thinking about what I would use for next year other than I have been entertaining the idea of switching my main planner because I only plan in one planner and not everything else like memory keeping and journaling. Playing with the idea of, and I know y'all about to be like, what? But playing with the idea of moving from personal rings to A5. I know, but hear me out. So remember that really pretty binder that I got from Me Plus that I set up to use for like content and like, I hit the mic, my bad. I set up to use for content and I set up to use to help me kind of like brainstorm what I wanted my monthly email to be. I purposefully got the ring sides in 16 mil so that if I ever wanted to set up a real system in here, I'll have the space to. Because as of right now, I am not reaching for this, and I feel like year after year I kind of eliminate a lot of stuff that I have in my personal rings. Like it's just not a full system anymore like it used to be. Like I used to have everything in here because I used to only have maybe a notebook, personal rings, and my archive, right? But now for the last 2 years, I've been playing around with just adding more stuff, an archive, a journal, you know, a journal that I can, an art journal, a creative journal. Like I just playing around with just like different things. And and recently I've only ever recently, not now, but recently it's only just been like my goals in here, my budget in here, my monthly, my weekly, and my dailies. So my mindset right now is like, okay, I'm not reaching for this right now. It may change, but I'm not reaching for this right now. What about next year? And when I do reach for this, it's only for my budget, monthly, weekly, and daily. Sorry, y'all, I'm all over the place. But it's, you know, when I do reach for this, it's only monthly, weekly, and daily. What if I go up a size with smaller rings and just have monthly, weekly, and daily and budget? That is completely it. Because that's essentially what I have right here. But I don't need, if that's it, then I don't need I don't need this much space. I don't need a 30 mil ring. I can use a 16 mil and go larger with my inserts, have more space, and just have my budget in here. That's what I'm thinking. So that's what I'm thinking. And honestly, that's what I'm leaning towards. If we come up to, because usually this is a time where I'm like thriving because like I said, I use the Hobonichi kind of like season, like the kickoff, which essentially it kicks off planner season. I use this time to think about what I'm using. And by mid-October, honestly, maybe even mid-September, by mid-October for sure, I already know my lineup. So I'm excited for I'm excited for that time and content and all that stuff because we get to like talk through it. But honestly, if I am still feeling like that after I purchase my Hobonichi weeks for the year, that is where I'm going to go. And I know the inserts that I am going to be using. So I do know that. I do know the inserts that I want to use for 2027. They are the open vertical from Element Paper Co. I'm going to put them on the screen, but I highly recommend y'all go to the website and check them out. But they are called the Open Vertical Weekly. I think that she had this layout maybe the year before I started using her. And I was so mad that I missed out on it. I actually reached out to her like a couple years ago, was like, hey girl, I would love for you to bring this back. If you ever decide to, I will be the first person to purchase. And I think she just kind of like kept it in mind. Or maybe she didn't. I don't know. But anyway, it's back. It is back and it's dated. I think the original one was not dated. It was undated. And it's back and it's dated. And y'all know how I feel about a dated insert for like the year for me. I need it. So I'm going to be using that insert. And it just makes sense for that layout to be in an A5 size. And me just get like a couple budgeting inserts and have my monthly in here, my weekly, and just my budget. I think that's what I'm going to do. As I'm talking about it, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And that way I can have my archive. I can play around with other stuff because I am thinking about, oh, y'all know what too? I usually have my goals in here as well. And I'm thinking about my goals being something separate. Now, I don't specifically want a goals notebook, like a goals notebook where it's structured around goals, like it's an actual goals notebook. No, I want something that's dated. And that'll be the structure, but I get to create my own structure around it because that's kind of like how I always do things. I kind of like, you know, look at different goal methods and take what I would take it and make it my own. So I think I want to do that. So yeah, so that's that for like 2027 stuff. I think that's it. I wrote down not sure what my videos would look like moving forward. Because I have been addicted to this. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about because I know y'all are going to be like, no ring planner. I don't even know if I'm going to be relevant at this point. But we'll see. So yeah, I'm excited for the next few months because like I said, this is kind of the time where I like thrive because we're thinking about what we're going to be using for next year. So I will see y'all next week. I do not know what that video was going to look like, but I will definitely come back up. I will definitely come back next week because I want to get back on the schedule because like again, like I say, I would be doing so good and then next thing y'all know, y'all do not see me for 6 months. So that is that. And then I just think like the conversation now for me is just like, okay, what am I going to use? What am I going to eliminate? And switching from personal rings is going to be so crazy for me. But also, I just think like right now in my personal planner, just the less is just way more, and I want to play around with other stuff, specifically bound books. I think that's what it is. I want to play around with just like more stuff, or discs. I'm feeling the disc, which is crazy because, or not crazy, because I originally started out using the customizable, when I got into like customizable planners or like personalizing planners. My first one was an HP mini, and you cannot tell me that that was not going to be the size that I live and die in because that size is so perfect, and I loved the idea of this. So yeah, but I think that is it. I am bringing back my word of the month because I did not, the last word of the month email that I sent out was in June, talking about the surgery and just getting more personal. It was a super personal and vulnerable email for me, which leads me into what I've been thinking about lately. I'm thinking about, let me say this first. I love the relationship in the community that I have cultivated over here. Like, I love y'all down, and y'all love me. Like, I see it and I feel it, right? But I don't know if this is the private girl in me or the 90s kid in me that really don't care to have an audience or like to be on social media. But I love the community, and that's what I want to cultivate. But that email was very private, very personal. It wasn't private because I shared what I wanted to share, but it was very personal. It's very vulnerable. And I realized that that is the type of space that I want to create. I want a community. I want a girls chat. I want to kiki and, talk my shit, and but also, talk about planners and just different stuff like that, and like really talk about what I'm going through. And it's not, and just really talk about how I'm using this paper and these books as a tool for my life. And I feel like I don't need an audience to do that. I don't want an audience to do that. I want to create a more intimate space where it's like a girls chat. So and the email, my word of the month email, that website or like that platform, I released some inserts. I released digital products. So a lot of people on that email list, either, you signed up because you wanted the word of the month email, or you may have signed up or I may have gotten your email and you signed up because you purchased a worksheet from me. Like, it's so like me sending you such a vulnerable email, and you're only on my email list because you purchased something from me. I don't know. Like, it's a mixed bag, and I don't really want that anymore. I want to build community. So with that being said, I'm thinking about Patreon. I'm thinking about just like having like the word of the month post live there. I'm thinking about going live once. I'm bringing that back because I used to go live on Instagram, but again, anybody could join that, so I'm thinking about going live once a month, and we just really talk about the word of the month. We're setting the tone for the month. We're talking about what we're struggling with. We're talking about just like real life shit. It's like the girls, like really talking about planning and how we're using it to cultivate better lives and stuff like that. So I'm thinking about doing that. I initially set up, because I started thinking about this on Sunday, and I initially thought about having 2 tiers. But now that I'm thinking about it earlier, I'm thinking about just having 1 tier where I post the word of the month, and I post, what we're talking about. I post reflections and different things that you can think about, and then we'll go live. And we can talk in the chat. We can talk one-on-one if you want to. It'll be more behind the scenes stuff. It'll just be more like when I want to get on here and talk my shit and not be censored and not feel like I have to have and not it be like an audience. It'd be just like, a girl's conversation, like a FaceTime call. That's the type of videos that will be on there. That's what I'm thinking about too. I really just want that. I feel like when things that I really, really, really want to like share, I feel like, because like Instagram isn't going to change, not Instagram. What am I saying? I don't post on there. YouTube isn't going to change. I think Patreon is just going to be just like the safe space that I create for myself, because it can get a little spooky. It can get a little crazy. People can get a little weird. So it'll be the safe space that I want to create for myself. And if you want to be a part of that, please come over there and join. So I'm still fleshing out the ideas, and then we'll talk about that more. But and what I was saying was YouTube really won't change. Like, I'll still be here. I'll still show up the way that I want to show up. And because I love it here. But like, for the people that want to really want to be in community, we can do that. And like, the people that really want to follow the word of the month and all that stuff, we can do that too. So I'm still fleshing out the way that will look, and I will definitely keep y'all posted on that. So that's that. And I think that is it. So again, not sure what next week will look like, but I will see y'all then. Thank you so much for all of the love and support, because I did get a lot of messages back when I shared, that I was having surgery. I did get so much love. So thank y'all so much. And on that, I am doing amazing. So I will talk to y'all later. Let me know in the comments, what have you been using? And if you have thought about 2027 at all yet, I would love to know. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.